we finished ironing, or pressing. We've got this seams going this direction, these going this direction, and so on and so on and so on. We need pins. We're going to nest our seams so that all of our points and corners are matching up nicely. So you're going to flip this row onto this row, and you see how you've got one set of seams going in one direction and one set going in the other direction, here and here. That's great. So we're going to start somewhere in the middle, and I'm just going to bring these close to you so you can see what I'm doing. So if we just sew randomly, your seams aren't going to be together and your blocks are going to come out kind of like this, crooked. You want them to be perfect. So, or near perfect. We're going to push one seam into the other seam. As you can see here, they're very close. They're still flat. They're not on top of each other. But one seam is butted into the other. And you can kind of feel it lock. Some people call this locking their seams as well. And then I'm going to stick a pin in there. And I'm just going to move this out a little bit so you can see. And put a pin in here. And then I'm going to do this next one the same way. Lock that seam. And insert my pin. And then I'm going to lock this seam. And I'm going to put in my pin. And then there's this one down here I didn't do yet. Lock that seam and put in my pin. Just for good measure, I'm going to match up my corners here. And I'm just going to pin this. And I'm going to do the same thing down here. Match up those corners and pin. Sorry about my hands in the way when I'm pinning. The most important thing that you see is that these seams are locked together. So when you do sew these, you're still going to do your 1/4 inch all the way down. Don't sew over your pins. Don't take your pin out until you're almost to it. So right about this point. That way your seam will stay nested. The next thing, I'm just going to get this next row ready to pin as well.